Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village. The award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them today at 1-800-364-9007. Find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com. Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Ike has qualified for State Farm's President's Club, Chairman's Circle, and Hot Springs Village Insurance Agent of the Year. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there. According to Hot Springs Village, the official website, which you can find at explorethevillage.com, lakes and boating. With 11 recreational lakes, Hot Springs Village is a community of lakes surrounded by land. Amenities include swimming beaches, covered pavilions, and 2 full-service marinas. The lakes offer a variety of fun activities like fishing, swimming, paddleboarding, canoeing, kayaking, boating, and skiing. You are now looking at the video, and yes, we're embarking on this video, so if you're listening to the podcast, gotta encourage you, go to hsvinsideout.com, and you will see as we are approaching the boat launch for Lake Coronado. Now, the boat launch for Lake Coronado is off of Murillo Way, or as the natives around here say, Murillo Way. Lake Coronado is about 380 acres. It has this boat ramp. It has picnic tables and grills. Fishing, swimming, water sports, they are permitted. There is a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit, and there are boat slips that are available through the Balboa Marina. Those slips are located on Lake Coronado behind the Coronado Fitness Center. Now, as you're looking at this video, we are on the south side of the lake, and as we approach the boat launch area, and this was redone, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think that this surface was constituted from shredding up previous asphalt as some of the repavement of some of the roads inside the village. I think some of that churned up material was repurposed to help this surface as you drive and bring your boat in to this boat dock. Now, this is shot in June of 2024. And temperatures are in the mid to high 80s, maybe even the low 90s. All the trees are in full bloom, as you can see. Water temperatures, and you can find this, we'll put a link in the show notes for those of you that are interested in keeping track of water temp. And the water temperature is anywhere from the 80s up to 90 degrees in various spots. There's also a trail And this trail is it's a beautiful trail. I will tell you that what you're going to notice. So as we're walking up this trail, you'll see this pile of sticks over there to the right-hand side of this, what begins as an asphalt trail. Storms came through, tornadoes came through, and there was severe damage done to this trail, just as there was to a number of areas. And as we proceed on through this trail, you'll notice a lot of trees down. And so this effort is continuing to suffer a little bit and needs a bit of cleanup. There's been some done, but understandably, residential areas kind of get the priority. We come to a fork where we can continue down this trail, and now we can go out to kind of a fishing pier. And again, this is a lake that is just under 400 acres, so it's a good-sized lake. It's not huge. It's not enormous. And even this time of year, the boating activity is, I would describe it as moderate. Many of us who are accustomed to some of the super big lakes, and I'm thinking if you go over to Hot Springs and you think of Lake Hamilton and you just think of all the boating activity, and those of us who come from various places, as I do, from DFW and some of the lakes around there, and the crowds, and it's just mayhem and chaos. And clearly that's not the case inside the village. These lakes, even when there is considerable boating activity, are nothing compared to those kinds of, big lakes. You can see that right now the water, especially as you get close to the shore, the visibility is relatively good. The storms subsided, and so the water has kind of settled. Pretty peaceful. You just see a few small fish at this depth. So we are now just a short ways. You see the flag down there where the boat launch is. And we are now more in a picnic area, which also has a wooden fishing pier that goes out over the lake. You see the Ouachita Mountains, and gives you an idea of the terrain. For those of you that have never been inside the village, I hope you're getting some sense of the peace, the tranquility, the quietness. And no, you're not hearing audio that was shot with this video, but here's the fishing pier. A lot of nice grass area for fish to hide in, which makes it pretty good, I would think, pretty good fishing. I'm told that the fishing is pretty solid throughout the village. My grandsons gave me some fishing equipment and a rod and reel. I've yet to use them. In fact, they gave it to me like about a year ago. So I am not the angler. But there are plenty of people who are, and if you have questions about that, please submit them and we'll connect with an expert. The lakes in the village have been stocked with bass and catfish and sunfish and crappie and walleye and lots of other species. The POA does have a lake management department, and they monitor the lakes, and they will schedule additional stocking of fish as needed. There are a number of organizations, including various angler organizations, that often host seminars and instruction for those of us that may be new to fishing. All of the regulations, by the way, are governed by the U.S. and the Arkansas wildlife and fishing departments, and so An Arkansas fishing license is required for anybody over the age of 16. So keep that in mind. Here you see additional piles of timber debris that have been gathered and collected and put along the path. Here you see one of the trees that fell due to a storm. And in other cases, there were some pine trees. We have had pine beetles, as many parts of the country that have a lot of pine trees have. And so some of those pine trees were taken down intentionally, and then about the same time we had storms come through and uproot a few. So right now the trail, it looks vastly better than it did back in the fall before all of the foliage came in. There's another look out at the lake across. You notice that little yellow identifier on that tree. As you walk the trails throughout the village, you will find identifiers for those of us that can't recognize what kind of tree is that. You have some benches, and there you see another one. That tree on the right has another yellow sign. And so they'll tell you what kind of tree that is and tell you a little bit about the tree. So as we continue on, you're going to see a little bit more debris on this trail. Now, this is one of many, many trails in the village. This one's relatively short. It's easy. There are some trails that are a little bit more challenging, but I wouldn't describe any of the trails inside the village as particularly, severely challenging. And as we make the turn, you're going to notice the damage that was done to this trail. The remarkable thing about nature is how quickly she rebounds. Had you looked at this 3 or 4 months ago, you wouldn't think that it would look like it does now. Yeah, you're looking at Murillo Way. This is the street that leads to the boat launch. And again, if you're just listening to the audio podcast, you're going to have to go to YouTube. You're going to have to go to our website, because increasingly you're going to see more 4K footage just like what we're showing you. Our intent is to show off Hot Springs Village more. We have an awful lot of you who are scattered all over the country, many of you who've never been here. And Dennis and I realized, we need to show you what the place looks like. And even with some of the downed trees, for those of us that love trees, it's still pretty gorgeous. And these are trees that are a few 100 feet tall, many of them. Now, they have done some cleanup. They've come in and they've hauled out a considerable amount of the damage. But as you can tell, there's still some cleanup yet to go. And I dare say within the next year, it's going to look even better. Very quick rebound. Again, more stacks of limbs and downed trees. This part of the trail is gravel, pea-sized gravel. So the walking's not difficult. As you can tell, this is extremely flat for this part of the country. This was much, much thicker, as you can probably tell by the suggestion of the downed trees. And based on conversations that we've had in the past with various foresters, that thinning is likely going to pay dividends down the road, because now the sun can hit the ground and hit some of these things that perhaps have been fighting for their life to try to get to some sun. So hopefully this this trail will rebound. It's a really popular trail, particularly around the Lake Coronado neighborhoods, but I think many people come and frequent this area, whether it's to bring family and have a picnic. There's 2 or 3 different picnic areas. And it's not a terribly long trail. So it's not too taxing for those of us that are among the average bears. You see one of the many picnic tables there ahead. So a number of tables, and these are in various different areas. So if you and your family came to that particular picnic area, you can see that it's fairly private. Many, not all of the trails, but many of the trails have this kind of information. This is the boat ramp trail. It gives you a little bit of the details about the trail. And then there are QR codes for bird watchers, for hikers, for people that just want more information about the trails. Signs that mark trails. For some of the longer trails, you may see some yellow paint on trees so that you can kind of stay the course. And this is a look back over that trail area. And we're now walking back up to Murillo Way. That's Murillo Way, which is the street that is the entrance for this area, the boat launch. The 3 biggest lakes inside the village, and Coronado is one of 3, and they are Lake Balboa. That's the largest lake at about 944 acres. And then there's Coronado Lake, this lake. And then there's Lake DeSoto. And so there you have it. The Coronado boat launch. Thanks for watching and listening to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a weekly podcast starring Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Visit the website at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com.